Hey guys, Roman Reaper here, just back with another quick review. So, I watched Enola Holmes 2 on Netflix, which is the sequel to 2020's Enola Holmes, which really surprised me. It was a lot of fun, and you know, I was hoping just for more of the same vibes of the sequel. A compelling mystery, but also super funny and quirky. But does it deliver on that? Let's find out. So Enola Holmes 2 picks up pretty much where the first left off. She's solved the Tewkesbury case, and now she's setting out into the world. She started her own detective agency, but she's operating under the shadow of her famous brother. When one day a little girl approaches her with a case to find her missing sister, and what Enola ends up stumbling on is a dangerous conspiracy. The game is afoot. So as I said earlier, I really enjoyed the first one. It really took me by surprise and I had a lot of fun with it. And you know what? I had a lot of fun with this one as well. In fact, I'd say this is about on par with the first one. In fact, I'd say there's maybe things it does better. Okay, so right off the bat, the film is super, super funny, especially once it sort of hits its groove, once the story's all set up. It's just a lot of fun. The film has a bit of fun with Enola's relationship with her brother Sherlock. Most notably in Sherlock's first proper scene in the film where he's chucked out of a pub and staggering about drunk, and Enola has to take him home. I thought that was really fun, and that's for me when it sort of kicks into its comic groove. She also has a bit of fun with her relationship with Tewkesbury, who's now Lord. There's one funny scene where he teaches her how to dance, and in return, she teaches him how to fight in probably one of the film's comic standout scenes. It's so funny. And yes, there's also more of the fourth wall breaking, talking to the camera stuff, although there's a lot less of it in this one. Like, obviously, it's toned down considerably because in the first film it got a bit much, but here it's perfectly fine, and the restrained use of it is worked perfectly well. But it's not just that it's like super funny. That Millie Bobby Brown, plays the sort of quirky Enola very well, and that's contrasted nicely with Henry Cavill's sort of more straight Sherlock. With room for humour there, but he's mostly quite emotionally distant and but very confident intellectually. And the contrast between these two is wonderful. Where this film also excels is in its mystery, and like any good mystery, it's really compelling and intriguing, and seeing all the pieces slowly come together is so much fun. And I must admit, it actually took a few twists and turns that I was not expecting. There's some sort of fan servicey Sherlock Holmes stuff, and there's some big reveals which really satisfied me. I was not expecting at all. But where this mystery I think is at its strongest is how it sort of weaves in a real life case of the match girls strike. And early on in the film, there's a little title card. Some of this actually happened. The important bits, Just find a bit of humour in those obligatory title cards. But the way they sort of weave in the real life story into this fictional story is really clever, and it never feels out of place. It also helps that the film has super fun action. But there's a scene later on with like a stagecoach chase, complete with explosives, that then also leads into a fist fight that's super fun to watch. There's also a chase scene through the streets of London, going up rooftops and up walls. It's a lot of fun. and once all the pieces come together at the end, there's a big climactic showdown that's super satisfying. You've got Tewkesbury sword fighting, and yes, Sherlock gets a proper fight scene. Unfortunately, Henry Cavill does not reload his arms, so it's not all perfect, unfortunately. For everything it does better than the first, like the more restrained use of the fourth wall breaking, talking to the camera stuff, and even making Sherlock more of an active participant in the plot, like having him piece together clues for his own mystery, which connects to the plot at hand, and again giving him a fight scene and deepening his relationship with there's stuff it does that's it could be improved on. There's some kind of jarring editing that does sort of take you out of the moment. Like there's some kind of unnecessary cuts that are so noticeable, and even Enola and Sherlock's mother, played by Helena Bonham Carter, makes a return in this film, but they don't exactly do a whole lot with her. She doesn't feel like she's been built upon or enriched. Anyway, since the last one, she feels just relatively the same character, which is a shame because even when with Tewkesbury stuff, he's sort of a secondary focus, but they still build on his character and his relationship with Enola. But Enola's relationship with her mother is sort of relatively in the same place that it was, and even the character building scene they have together is more so much just for Enola's benefit rather than for both the characters. I feel like they kind of missed a trick there. Overall, Enola Holmes 2 is a super, super fun sequel. It's got laughs, it's got action, it's got a compelling mystery that takes twists and turns. It's got great performances and some fun little visual flourishes and a jaunty little score from Daniel Pemberton once again. And obviously this is on Netflix, so definitely give it a watch. If you enjoyed the first film, you will probably like this. And overall, I'm going to give Enola Holmes 2 an 8 out of 10. So yeah, let me know down in the comments, have you seen Enola Holmes 2? What do you think of it? What do you think of it in comparison to the first one? And what sort of parts of the Sherlock Holmes lore would you like to see incorporated into potential future sequels? Because note that mid-credit scene ends on. Very exciting stuff. Don't forget the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget the subscribe button if you're new. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.